Checking out the arrivals. All this drip on me, I need a mop. I do not throw bottles, I throw shots. The Sixers, 13-3 when both Embiid and Harden scored 20 or more regular season and the playoffs. You saw the beard, now you see the process. Where's their mind at? What they listening to?
They must be in South Beach.
Oh, yeah, they are. They definitely dressed for the occasion. That game, 7:30 on TNT. And we go out to the West Coast, West Side. Now check this, the Suns all-time are only 8-9 in Game 5 in the series that's tied at 2 games apiece. They look to change history tonight, 10 p.m. Mavericks, Suns on TNT. And let's take a look at the brackets as they're updated. We are getting close to the NBA's Final Four. All series are tied at 2 games apiece, except that Golden State Grizzlies series, which we have an update on. I teased it, and I would not lie to you. We're going to tell you exactly what's going on. So as we come in, of course, NBA fans, what's good? You are now rocking with the best. Ro Parrish here in Studio B. It is Playoff Central Live presented by AT&T 5G. Now, this just in, we just received the word that Ja Morant, his MRI results are in, and his knee has a bone bruise on his right knee, and he is doubtful for the remainder of the postseason. So we'll keep you updated on that as we get the information. But again, the MRI results are in. Ja Morant doubtful for the remainder of the postseason. So with that said, we're going from one point guard to another point guard, Chris Paul. We know that he didn't have the best situation in his previous game. And as we throw the graphic up on the screen to show you exactly what's going on with Chris Paul. And so Bert, are we going to the graphic? Let's go ahead and throw the graphic up there, live television, nothing like it. So there it is, Chris Paul at home, excellent. On the road, not so much. 3-point field goal percentage has been great. The turnovers have been up, which is not a signature of Chris Paul. So with that said, she's scouring the sideline. She's an award-winning journalist. Allie LaForce joins us. So Chris Paul, we know Sunday didn't go as planned for him as far as on or off the court. He didn't play well. His team loses. And then on top of that, his family was harassed. Definitely not a good situation. So you've had conversations with him. What is his mindset entering Game 5?
Well, I thought Monty Williams made a really great point yesterday when he said, I called Chris to check on him 2 nights ago now and said it was just a lot for any human to take in, right? It's Mother's Day and you're worried about the safety of your mother and your wife at the game in the stands. But on top of that, he had a really uncharacteristic 2 games for him personally. The assist to turnover ratio was a major problem. On top of that, he got into the foul trouble too. So he just checked on him as a man. They had a great conversation. And then yesterday at practice, the team as a whole was able to move on from that situation and talk more about how to get back to that identity that allowed them to dominate that entire regular season. I mean, the Chris Paul foul trouble, when I say uncharacteristic, I can't emphasize that enough. So he fouled out last game for the first time in 75 games this season, also in 139 career postseason games. He has fouled out now 4 times in 139 postseason games. So it was really, really bizarre to watch. And I asked Monty Williams about Luka's antics and, some of the big reactions to the bumping and the fouls. And he said, listen, we all do it. Chris Paul does the same thing. So we can't use that as an excuse. We can't use the officiating as an excuse. For them, it's all about defense, getting stops so they can get out and get those easy transition buckets. We're lacking big time in the last 2 games.
Talking about Chris Paul and fouling out the 4th time, you mentioned that the first time since 2018 when the Wolves were an opponent back then. But going to the other side, Luka, I mean, he scored a lot on the road in games 1 and 2, didn't score as much in games 3 and 4. So 2 different results in the win-loss column. So what is the expectations for Luka as he goes into Game 5?
Listen, this Mavs team would rather Luka score a little bit less and have your Dorian Finney-Smiths and your Jalen Brunsons excel and be great and make it a full team effort. They had 6 players that scored in double figures in that last win. And so that's the model that they're going for. Luka will always find ways to be great, assists, rebounds, just drawing defenders, you name it. But I think when they had been on the road previously, he had carried the load for this team, and they need to figure out a way to come to Phoenix and have all the supporting cast play really well as Luka, because Luka's going to bring his A game on the road regardless.
Speaking of A game, Allie, you always bring your A game, bringing us the knowledge that we need, dropping it as always. Look forward to seeing you at tonight's game.
You're too good to me, bro, and I can say the same for you. So thanks for having me on, as always.
Of course, that is Allie LaForce. You will see her later on tonight in the game, the Suns and the Mavs. See you later, Allie. As we come back in the Studio B, you heard him at the top of the show. That is the lottery legend and, of course, playoff performer Greg Anthony. He's a little bit turned up and feeling good coming in today. Looking at this right now, we know that the Mavs right now, they have a little bit of swagger. Both of these teams won Game 5s in their previous series. So what's going to happen tonight, in your opinion? Who has the momentum going into Game 5?
Well, I think Dallas has a tremendous amount of confidence, because it's one thing to win a game. It's another to validate that win with another win, which they were able to do at home. And they also did it by forcing Chris Paul to play uncharacteristically. I just felt like they, in some regards, they kind of bullied Phoenix a little bit in that game. They dictated tempo, and defensively, they were far more the aggressors. And so I think if you're Phoenix, you start with, all the talk's been about Chris Paul, but I think it's guys that have been great all year that have to be better. I think Mikal Bridges has got to play a lot better than he played in games 3 and 4. I think DeAndre Ayton. Now, some of them playing better means their teammates have to incorporate them more. And it's not just Chris Paul, Devin Booker, all these guys. They got to make sure that those guys are a focal point offensively, because a lot of times you get confidence when you see the ball go through the basket. So I would expect that you're going to see Phoenix play faster at home, which would work against what Dallas wants to do. Dallas wants to control pace. They're like a great running team in football. They want to shrink the game because they feel like with Luka, they got the ultimate running back. And if they can shrink the game, they feel like that's to their advantage. I think you're going to see the tempo try to pick up. I thought Reggie Bullock did a terrific job of just hounding Chris Paul, not allowing him to get into their actions early. And what that does is it takes away options when you consistently play late in the shot clock. So look for pace to be picked up. Listen, I still think Phoenix is the best team in the league, but they are going to have to play better. And this Dallas team, because of what they just accomplished, they're going to come in with a boatload of confidence. They're going to have some swagger about them. And let's just see how they play in that first quarter. Can they weather the storm? Because I do think you're going to see Phoenix come out with great physicality and intensity, but then it's going to subside some. And then that's where I want to see if Dallas can then raise their level.